Torah in 2 minutes-ish. It's easy to judge people harshly for making bad decisions. We usually don't cut them slack for having limited information or having imperfect options before them. And it reminds me, this week in Parshat Devarim, as Moshe is recounting the Israelites' trek through the desert, and when they sent scouts up to the land, they asked them, which road should we take up? And Rashi, the great Torah commentator from 1,000 years ago, says, why did I have to ask which road? Rashi's answer is, Ein derech she'ein ba akmiyut. There was no straight path that wasn't crooked. There was no path that didn't have its twists and turns in it. There was no straight way to go. Meaning that even in this, which would seem like a perfect situation, God is leading them out of Egypt and to the promised land. They still had limited options before them, only imperfect options before them, and they had to make the best that they could out of those limited options. There was no straight path. There was no clear way. They had to figure it out. That's true of us all. We always have to figure out what to do in the face of imperfect options, and we have to understand that everyone else is doing the same thing. This weekend will mark Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av, when we recall tragedies of the Jewish past, and part of that is the destruction of the temple, which really means feeling God's presence less in this world, the fact that we drove God's presence out of this world, and the Jewish tradition says this happened because of sinat chinam, because of baseless hatred, that Jews argued with each other and heaped hatred on each other baselessly. It wasn't the fact that we had differences, it's that we couldn't reach out and understand each other in the face of those differences. And so remember, everyone doesn't have a straight path. We all make imperfect choices based on imperfect information. And to act with hatred towards each other, not to cut each other slack, drives God's presence from the world. And to do the opposite, to act with understanding, not just even for, but especially those who are different from ourselves, that has the power of bringing God's presence back in. There is no straight path. We just have to do the best we can. And on Tisha B'Av, we remember our past mistakes and we recommit to trying to build a better, more understanding world. Shabbat Shalom.